I bet at one point in your lifetime, you have thrown that rock into a pond or a lake. And as that rock starts to sink, ripples start to form and they continue to permeate out. That's just like little actions we do in our life, things we might say, things we might do that create impact out further than we can even imagine. This is what we call the ripple effect. The ripple effect is so important to think about if you want to create a really meaningful life for yourself. Think about the actions or the things you say, how they ripple out into this world. But it's also very important for industrial brands that might have an expensive offer or a long buying cycle. They really need to concentrate on their ripple effect. How are they creating these ripples? And do they last? But as an industrial brand, how do you stand out in such a busy marketplace? We're not all 6'7" and can yell like Tony Robbins. We're not all going to have kittens kind of running all over our site to drag people in and entice them to look. But today, I'm going to give you 4 small little actionable steps that you can take so that your brand can stand out. Your brand can stand out as if you are Tony Robbins and you're 6'7", or you are holding that cute little kitten. So listen in. Listen in so you can hear those 4 steps. And then we can learn how to inspire success in ourselves and everyone around us. You are listening to the Industrial B2B Marketing Excellence Podcast. I regularly talk to people or sometimes give insights on tips and tactics that industrial brands can use now and start to see some reward from it. Industrial B2B world, relationships are key. Relationships that instill trust is how a company is going to grow into the future. This is essential for brands with expensive offers or that long buying cycle to understand. You need to create the ripple effect. And the reason why is branding. Branding is not a sprint, it is a marathon. So you want to say things, you want actions out there that create the ripple effect that keeps going long after the action or those words were said. Just like the rock, it sinks, but you want the ripples to continue. Think about it. How are you creating ripples in your brand's journey? Let me repeat myself. How are you creating ripples in your brand's journey? I recently was helping a company who was struggling getting noticed in the marketplace. They were doing a lot of expensive campaigns, but nothing was catching. It wasn't sticking. They weren't getting in the leads they needed. They weren't getting the recognition. They didn't have any kind of positive results from the campaigns that they were doing. And after I looked and I reviewed it, I said, the problem is, it's as if you're trying to throw that cannonball or boulder into the lake, where you really need to be throwing a small stone, a small rock into the lake that then permeates out. Once they started small, focusing on their messaging and building relationships, they started to see those ripples continue to expand, creating impact long after the campaign was over. Just like the rock. The rock has disappeared, but those ripples continue to go. That's what we're trying to set up in our lives. As an individual, every time I go out or I speak to someone, I start to think in my head, okay, what will be that ripple effect? And it really does create a more meaningful life. Think about, like if you go out and you just buy your groceries, you grab your groceries and you leave, okay? But if you're there and you talk a little bit to the cashier and then you say thank you to the young man or the young lady who are packing your groceries, or ask them how their day is, or you like their blouse, it gives them that good feeling inside, and that will ripple out. Just like your campaigns, industrial brands need to create actions and messaging that will ripple out. Here are the 4 steps that company I mentioned utilized, and you can use. The first thing is you must create purposeful messaging. Gone are the days of sending these big, broad messages about your product, about your company. World Innovators, we've been around for 44 years. Who cares? They want to know what's in it for me. How can you help me? The marketplace now, it is way too crowded. If you want your messages to be responded to, you've got to speak directly to them. They have to feel that you really know them. For instance, someone gets a piece in, they start to read it, and it's almost like those cartoon characters where it's like, ah! They're like, oh my goodness, this company gets me. This is exactly what I need to succeed. You've got to create those purposeful messages that really resonate with the individual, helps them with challenges that they have, or helps them achieve their goals. That's what we're all looking for. We all don't have a lot of time in our lives. So you need to give things that will help them, offer value, give them educational pieces of content. One of the best places, you're probably saying, Donna, well, how do I know what the messages should be about? Go to trade shows. I know I say this all the time, but I was just at another trade show and it still amazes me the wealth of information I come back with. Whether it is walking the exhibit hall, talking to vendors, asking them about their exhibit space or the people that have stopped by, what are they looking for? Whether I'm eavesdropping on a conversation in the coffee line, hearing what they're talking about, going to sessions, listening to presenters, but then also hearing from the audience, what questions do they ask? All that information is giving you what is top of mind. And then also reputable publishers, look at their editorial content. They want to make sure that they keep their subscribers engaged. So they're going to create content that is top of mind. So when you're putting together your email piece or any kind of messaging you're going to put out in the marketplace, you want to pull in these topics that are top of mind. What are they looking for? What do they need? And you put out that messaging. Number 2, limit your channels. I hear people saying, I've got to be everywhere. No, you don't have to be everywhere. Like that company, they were throwing in a cannonball. They were trying to be everywhere, but not an expert in one particular space. First, limit it so that you're really great at one. Example, social media platforms. When you're on the industrial side, start with LinkedIn. Be amazing on LinkedIn. Once you are amazing on LinkedIn, not only sharing posts, commenting on posts, but growing your LinkedIn audience, then move to another platform that your prospects are on. Let's repeat that your prospects are on. We don't need to be wasting time and energy on platforms that they do not look at. When you have expensive offers, think about that. Do you need to be on Facebook? Do you need to be posting something on Instagram or Pinterest? Analyze the results, see where your audience is, and then limit the channels. The third step is consistency. You cannot send a one-off email or send one big, beautiful box with gifts and gadgets and hope you're going to get the response you need. Yeah, people might like whatever gift you send them, but is it going to give you that ripple effect out? No, they're going to eat those chocolates and then it's going to be gone. You need to create consistency. You send out an email. After that email is sent, you'll have a group of people who opened, who didn't click. Send them a different message. People that opened and clicked but didn't take action, send them a different message. Or the people who didn't open at all, maybe change up that subject line. It did not resonate with them. Don't give up after you've sent one email to say, oh, this didn't work. Forget this, let's jump. No, it doesn't work like that anymore. You've got to do repetitive things out to individuals. Sometimes they see it in their inbox, but maybe they're having a crazy day. Or maybe they see it in the inbox and that subject line really doesn't spark their interest to take action. That's when you tweak that subject line and get them to open it. And then if they didn't take the other steps, you analyze that and change the messaging. The other channels, whether it's email or postal campaign or social media posts or web, all of them should be working together to complement each other, but they should be set up in a time frame so that they can complement each other. Like, don't send an email at the beginning of May. Don't do anything again until September. No one is going to remember this email. I've even called people back, leads we got in that got the email a month ago or 2 weeks ago, and they don't remember. They don't remember clicking on it. So you need to place it in a time frame that you can really help these people nurture. Consistency. The fourth step is segmentation. I don't care what size your list is, whether it's 5,000 or 50,000, there's a way to segment your list so that you can speak directly to those individuals. Just like before when we were talking about meaningful or purposeful messaging, same thing. You want to segment the list so that you can really make that messaging granular to that specific individual at that title, at that company size, whatever the separation is for that segment, you want to speak directly to them. One of the examples I talk about a lot is, whether you're going to send to a CFO, your messaging has to be very different than if you're going to send it to a CEO, because a CFO really wants to know the bottom line. And then the CEO really wants that overall picture. And then if you're sending it to an engineer, you know what? Cut out the fluff and get right down into the important details that they need to know. With these 4 steps, you've got your purposeful messaging, you've got limiting your channels, you've got consistency, and you've got segmentation. What will happen is you will find your stage is just as big as the one that Tony Robbins or Richard Branson might be on. because now you are speaking directly to your audience and they want to hear what you have to say. So they are going to listen. You don't have to be 6'7" and be yelling your message. You've got to offer them value and education, and they are going to listen to your messages. And when it gets time that they need your services or your products, they will buy from you because you have built up that trust. You have built up the trust. The relationship is getting deeper, and they are going to lead to your company having success year after year because your ripples are continuing out into the marketplace long after the campaign is over. So as I leave you, let's always remember that every action builds trust, and every ripple builds brands. Let's say that one again, because I just love it. Every action builds trust, and every ripple builds brands. Please hit subscribe below so you can get the next episode announcement. Hit like, because we love to see that you like the content we're putting out there. Send it off to some friends so we can inspire success with everyone around you. And I know these things, these steps that I just mentioned, it takes time to research it and put all that information together. But if you need help with that, please feel free to reach out to us at worldinnovators.com or send me an email directly saying, Donna, how can you help me? At dpeterson@worldinnovators.com. I look forward to helping you succeed. I want to inspire success in you and everyone around you. Have a great day. Until the next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the World Innovators B2B Marketing Excellence Podcast. If you'd like to be updated when new episodes come out, don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out our social media accounts to stay up to date on B2B marketing trends.